my name is Eric.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
I'm Katia.
And I'm Dago. And today we'll be going over using descriptive social norms to increase charitable giving, the power of local norms.
We will be discussing a field experiment conducted by James Egerstrom, Rickard Carlson, Linda Nicholson, and Linda Gunto. It was conducted in Lund University in Sweden.
They examined whether people are more likely to conform to the local norms of one's immediate environment than to more global norms extending beyond one's local environment.
Through their experiment, they discovered that transmitting local norms was more effective in increasing charitable giving than by conveying global norms.
To begin, let's go over some of these social norms.
There are two classes of social norms. The first one that we will be discussing is called the injunctive social norm, which tells people that this is what they ought to be doing. In a study done in 1990 by Clayton, Reno, and Kellgren, it was shown that disobedience is basically equal to social disapproval. Now, in a different study in 2014 by Rehani and McAuliffe, pardon me for the horrible pronunciation, but in this study, some players were told in a dictator game that sharing money is what players should do. Players who were told this shared more money than players who did not hear this. So this social norm can have a positive effect on giving behavior.
So descriptive norms refer to how individuals behave in a certain situation. For example, if a potential donor learns that most other people engage in charitable giving, he or she may follow suit because he or she automatically assumes that this is likely to be an effective and appropriate course of action in that situation. One way that you can signal descriptive norms is by telling a person that others have done that action. So, in a study done by a group in Sweden, university students were randomly selected to donate money to Go Alamo, a Swedish nonprofit charity organization whose goal is to improve children's living conditions. Information about other students who donated was given to the potential donors. Additional payment methods were also being accepted, and even more students donated. After being told about the experiments, the students were given the option to revoke their donation, and they chose not to. Providing real numbers in the context of the descriptive norms, an example, finding out who donated the most within the community, convinced more people to donate, as well as telling the donor what comes out of their donation.
Descriptive norms refer to how individuals behave in a certain situation. People may be influenced to donate to a charitable cause if they hear that most other people have donated to this cause, since they believe this would be an appropriate response. Evidence for this is not fully supported, however. One example can be taken from a 2014 study done by Rehani and McAuliffe, where some players were informed in a dictator game that most other players had shared their money. These players did not give more generously compared to the control group. Another example can be seen in a 2009 study done by Shang and Crossan. Descriptive norms were tested to see whether it affected donation behaviors in a radio station during their on-air fund drive. Some were told how much money was donated by previous donors. Doing this increased donations, but descriptive norms increased donations from only new donors.
The next norm we will be discussing is the provincial norm, which refers to the norms of one's local setting and circumstance. In 2008, a study was conducted by Goldstein, Salini, and Grasfias. And in this study, hotel guests were informed about the percentage of guests who reused their towels instead of using Help Save the Planet slogans. So, if guests were told that previous guests who stayed in the same room reused their towels, the new guests would likely do the same thing. They would reuse their towels, which is their whole point of doing it. But in 2014, a German study was conducted by Boyer and Schlutter, and this did not find the same effect. It also found that descriptive norms did not result in a higher towel reuse rates when compared to just a normal message appealing to environmental worries. Another study was conducted in 2014 in Austria by Rees, Lowe, and Stifkin. And it also failed to reproduce the descriptive norms effect. These failed studies may not have reproduced the norms effect that was wanted because environmental attitudes are actually stronger in Europe than in America. So people are more likely to, in Europe, are more likely to reuse towels just by the normal slogan of saying, help save the world, help save the planet, because they care more about the environment than Americans.
Next, we'll be talking about global norms. Global norms are norms that have a more general outlook, like a state or country, for example. These norms apply more generally beyond one's setting and circumstances. An example can be seen in a 2008 study done by Goldstein and his associates, where hotel guests who learned that 75% of previous hotel guests that stayed in the same room had reused their towels more than once. This is seen as a provincial norm, and were more likely to reuse their towels compared to hotel guests who learn, more generally, that 75% of the hotel guests had reused their towels more than once, the global norm. Looking at this case in a global norm, the hotel as a whole, only 75% of the guests had reused their towels. In order to get more people to participate, more evidence is needed to support their claim, like telling guests who stayed in the same room reused their towels.
So I'm going to be talking about local norms. What are local norms? They're norms that everyone are aware within a community, such as telling people how many people in their community they identify with actually donated, actually helps with the participation of everyone. An example would be like a Swedish college that they told the participants that everyone in their university that was asked to donate actually did donate, which caused a chain reaction that allowed other people to donate too. When a person can identify themselves with the community, the chance of participation goes up. The closer also a person feels to their community, the more likely they will participate. One great example would be the Ice Bucket Challenge that happened in 2014. The ALS Association received around 98.2 million that year than any other year. The reason was because so many people saw that they were participating in it. The challenge and the videos and people throwing ice on top of other people were shared on social media. A bigger sense of community influenced people to donate and participate. In previous studies, it has been shown that charitable giving is influenced by donor characteristics such as personal values. The charity organization characteristics, like are they trustworthy? Can they actually donate the money that they promised they were going to give? These characteristics of the recipients of the charitable contribution, such as like the victim is identified, in cases of like hurricanes, in cases of people that have been abused or need the money, cognitions, perceived entitability, perception of a group as a pure entity, emotional reactions that the recipient shows, such as empathy. Do they show that they're in need, they're sad? So, now this new study shows that if people learn that a majority of others have donated to a charity, they're more likely to donate, as opposed to when they are not aware of this information. So, yeah, local norms do have a superior effect. By proving these norms, size of donations have been shown to double.
In conclusion, a few things to keep in mind is that charitable giving increases when descriptive norms are signaled as compared to when only altruistic or industry standard appeals are made.
Second, local norms appear to be more effective eliciting charitable giving than global norms.
If you want more people to donate to charity, provide statistics revolving around their community.
The potential donors know how much other people have donated within their community and tell them what their donations will contribute to. Examples would be medicine, food, or clothing.